Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to walk through the brand new features of the Scully MTT1000 mobile truck tester app. Whether you're using Android or iOS, this update makes testing and reporting faster, clearer, and easier than ever. The key new Scully app updates include the following. Raw data test results are now presented in a more intuitive and easier to interpret format. A new report feature has been added to display test results in a user-friendly template. A backup and restore feature for log files is available when switching to a new phone or tablet. A truck retest button has been added to the home screen when connected to the MTT1000, allowing quick access to restart the truck tester. Finally, we've added a new method to set up the real-time clock for unique locations. Beyond the key updates, there are many other new features to highlight that will improve your user experience. Let's dive right in. Data and reports. Logs just got a lot easier to read. The Scully app now converts device data logs into plain English, allowing anyone to read and understand the test results. Let's choose a log on the Data and Report screen to review an example. The top portion of the log contains the date of the test, the tester used, the test log number, and the time zone. Then, the log describes the configuration of the truck or trailer being tested, in this case, an 8-compartment, 2-wire configuration with a truck identification module or TIM, and a ground diode. As the tester starts the wet test, the results are listed further down the data log with a timestamp in simple text. Filtering data logs. To manage the data log files, we created a filter either by device, trailer ID, or date range. This is helpful when you're looking for one test in a long list or a grouping of logs with a common variable. You can even select individual records to narrow things down further. The filter icon is on the top left of the Data and Reports screen. Click on it to narrow your data log search. The log filter gives you the option to list the logs associated with specific testers, trailer IDs, also known as TIM numbers, or date ranges. This will result in a filtered list of data logs to work with. If you name your logs per customer or work orders, you can filter them using Select Individual Records. In this example, I want to view only the logs for a specific customer named Great Oil Delivery. Start from the Data and Report screen option. Then, click the Kebab drop-down menu, which is the 3 vertical dots in the top right, and choose the Select Individual Records option. Select all the data logs for Great Oil Delivery Company, and then click on the check mark in the top right corner. The result will be a filtered list of data logs for the Great Oil Delivery Company. Exporting data logs. Need to share your logs? From the Data and Report screen, click on a data log that you want to export. Click on the Share or Kebab drop-down menus and choose the format of the file you want to export. Application records are presented in plain text format. CSV provides a comma-separated view of records. Raw format retains the record's original format as received from the tester, which is useful for troubleshooting, but not ideal for everyday operations. The iOS or Android operating system will open up a window with communication options to attach and send the file to. The file can also be saved to the local device or the cloud. Creating reports. The reports section also received a major upgrade. You can create single log test reports for one test or aggregate reports to combine multiple results. Both display data in a user-friendly, professional format, perfect for sharing with colleagues or customers. Let's review the steps for creating each type of report. Single log test reports. The single log test report presents the details from one log session. A log session essentially begins when the tester is connected to the socket and ends when it's either removed, restarted, or shuts down. To create the report, choose the pertinent data log from the Data and Report screen and click on it to open. The open log shows the test results. To generate the report, click on the Share button and select the Create a Report option. It will then navigate you to the Select a Template screen, where you should have at least one macro, in this case named Scully Single Log Test Report. Click on the arrow on the right of the macro to generate the report. The Scully MTT test report includes the tester information used for the test, the truck or trailer configuration, the wet test results, and the results of any other manual tests run during the session. In this example, you can see the details captured: the date and time of the test, including the time zone, the log information, including the log number to reference which log this report has been created from, and the optional log label that can reference a customer name or work order, the tester name and ID, identifying the device used to run the test, the vehicle ID in decimal or hex format. This identifies the TIM number if one is installed on the vehicle. The sensor type. This establishes the type of sensors on the truck or trailer, whether they are 2-wire or 5-wire. The initial sensor state. This will tell us the number of compartments and status, either wet, dry, open, or short. With an onboard controller, it will show 6 or 8 sensors for 2-wire or 1 for 5-wire, with green for permit and red for non-permit. The initial ground state. This will tell us the grounding verification method, resistive or diode, and its state, good ground or none. The sensor wet test. This will display the sensor's status listing every change. For example, dry to wet to dry. As a reminder, sensors can be wet, dry, open, or short. This logic is the same on the ground test, where the report displays the change status between good and none found. Aggregate log test reports. The aggregate log test report presents a summary of results for 2 or more data logs. First, you need to select the logs to be included in the report. This is done by selecting the individual records from the Data and Report screen. Click on the logs to be included in the report, and then click on the check mark on the top right of the screen to finalize the list of data logs to include in the report. Open the drop-down menu and click on Create a Report. This will navigate you to the Select a Template screen to choose the Aggregate Report macro. Then, click on the arrow to generate the Scully MTT Aggregated Test Report. The report summarizes the final test results of each data log, including the ground status, the last sensor wet test result, and the time and date of the test. The data is presented based on the truck ID. If no truck ID is present, then it will state none. If a test resulted in a faulty condition, a report notification will mention Trailer XYZ needs service. Scully App Settings. We have made a few improvements to the Scully App settings as well, including the addition of a backup and restore option. Backup and restore. Backups are easier than ever. With backup and restore, you can save your entire Scully app state to a zip file and reload it later. You can either replace everything or simply add missing data. This feature could be used when upgrading to a new device without sacrificing the previous setup and log files. Backup and restore functions are in the middle of the Scully app settings screen. Click on Backup Data to begin the process. Note, this cannot be done when connected via Bluetooth to a tester. The backup file name includes the date and time of the backup. The backup will be archived, and the device will give you the option to save it locally or to the cloud. It is best practice to back up your device on a regular schedule, so please make sure you do so. To restore a backup file, go to the Scully app settings screen and click on Restore from Backup. The Scully app will give you 2 options: to either replace the complete dataset or just the data of missing items. After choosing your preferred option, the Scully app will open your backup files folder. You can then select your preferred backup file from the list. After choosing the file, the Scully app will confirm that the restore process has completed successfully. Homescreen Updates. Whenever you make a change to truck equipment, such as swapping a sensor, you can quickly restart the detection and testing sequence without the need to navigate to other sections of the Scully app. Also, when you click the button, the testing sequence restarts, so the last log tests are transferred from the tester and added to the data log list. Next, we've added real-time clock information, which can be accessed in the log list after establishing Bluetooth connectivity. That means you'll always see the tester's clock settings at startup, so your timestamps are accurate and easy to confirm. Setting up the real-time clock. For correct logging and reporting data, the tester's real-time clock must be accurate. The tester's real-time clock, or RTC, stamps time and date information on all testing activities without the need for a wireless connection. By default, the Scully app updates the tester's RTC whenever the Bluetooth connection is established. However, the RTC can be manually set up in the tester settings while connected to the tester. Click on Real-Time Clock and the Scully app navigates to the RTC screen. On the very top of the screen, you will notice the device time and date opposite the battery usage icon. Below is the tester's RTC time, time zone, country configured, and the date. If the setting of the RTC is incorrect, you can manually adjust it. This is a two-step process. First, in App Settings, click on Country and choose the one that you are setting the tester for. If the country is not listed, choose one that has the same time zone. The second step is back in the Real-Time Clock menu when the Bluetooth connection is established with the tester. Select the Set RTC Manually button. Apply the correct RTC date, clock, and time zone, and click on the Update Tester RTC button. The updated RTC settings will be listed in the RTC screen. By combining the time zone with country in manual mode, the Scully app now addresses some unique global locations with duplicate time zone codes. Here are a couple of additional updates in the Scully app settings. Under App Settings, we've also added Report Template Management used for creating reports. Customizing reports can be done by Scully for a fee. If you have created custom reports, managing the reports options can be done in this section. That means you can add new templates, restore defaults, delete versions you don't need, and even set your favorite version as the default. Power users, this one is for you. Finally, if you ever run into a snag, the new Report an Issue feature lets you send technical details straight to the Scully support team. Just tap the option and an email is ready to go. Closing. With these updates, the Scully MTT1000 app makes testing faster, reporting clearer, and your job easier. Be sure to update your Scully app today and start exploring all the new features. Thanks for watching.